Hey guys, Brian here with the Forest Farm Project. Wanted to take a quick minute today and show you guys the Kreg Shelf Pin Jig. We're in the process of drilling the holes for our adjustable shelves, and the house we're in has 8-foot ceilings. Our cabinets are 41 inches tall, and we're going to have 2 adjustable shelves because the cabinet goes all the way to the ceiling. We want plenty of adjustability and room for things to go. So with this system, you can use multiples of these and hook them together, or you can use one. You can go from the bottom all the way to the top, whatever your heart desires. What we decided to do was take some of our shelf stock. We cut an 8-inch jig that gives us from 8 3/4 to 15-inch hole location. We cut a 20-inch jig for our upper shelf, and that gives us 20 3/4 to 27 inches for the pinhole locations. This is all a 5mm pin kit, which is pretty much standard. One really nice thing about this setup is it has a ledge here on the side that is removable, and that allows you to put in a cabinet that already has a face frame on it. If not, you can clip this on. Where it currently is will give you a 1-inch setback. If we move it to this side, it gives us a little over a 2-inch setback for our holes. So depending on the size of your cabinet and where things are going, you can make it the best setup for you. Additionally, on the back it has storage locations in these 3 spots for things such as this indexing pin, which I'll use in a minute, and your drill bit, which I've got in the drill right now. So let's show you how it works. So we're going to start with our 8-inch jig on the bottom. I just slide that in, set my Kreg Shelf Pin Jig on there, take my Automax clamp, clamp it in the middle. These things are really nice because it's very easy to adjust for whatever medium you're clamping to, and you just lightly adjust the pressure, it'll lock down. I've got it where it's just tight enough to hold, but I can still slightly spin it because it will be in the way of my drilling these holes on a couple of them because I'm on the 1-inch setting. If I had it flipped over and was doing the 2-inch setting, it would be out of the way and I'd be able to drill my holes no problem. When drilling these holes, you want to make sure it's not a race. You don't want to ram this thing in as fast as you can and jerk it back out and keep going. You want to take your time, because if you do go fast with this particular wood, this pre-finished birch, if you drill it fast, it will fuzz up the finish and give you some hairs sticking off. The slower you go, the more controlled you go, you get a nice clean hole. Additionally, when we drill the first hole, we use the indexing pin and slide it in the hole. It's not needed for a single setup like we're doing, but it's just a little added protection. If you guys follow the channel, you know we like clamps. This is kind of like a clamp. It helps lock it in place, and just one more added protection, making sure this thing doesn't move while I'm drilling. Now I'll stick that pin in. Helps lock it down. I'll rotate this out of my way. Rotate it back out of the way. Now, if you wanted to have pinholes from bottom to top, this is where the indexing pin would come in handy. When you release your clamp, take the pin out, or if you didn't have the pin in, you would get the pin, and I would say, okay, I've got a hole here at the top. I would stick my indexing pin in, line it up. Now I would have a straight series of holes from top to bottom by continuously doing that. Saves you money instead of having to buy multiple jigs. If you want to do that instead of saving the time of having multiple jigs, really simple, works well, but like I said, we're only going to do a set at 8 and a set at 20. This pin helps hold the jig in place throughout the process and giving you a consistent hole pattern from top to bottom, left to right, front to back. That way your shelves are going to sit nice and flat. They're not going to get wonky and wobble all over the place. So now I'm going to do my 20-inch set. Again, slide my 20-inch jig in, set the Kreg Shelf Pin Jig in, take my Automax clamp, clamp it down, I'm good to go. I just broke my own rule. I didn't use my pen. But it's that simple. I mean, there's nothing to it. These things go in great. One thing to remember when doing this, if you're using jigs like we are, make sure the tops and bottoms after you've been drilling are clean, as well as clean out any debris that's in the cabinet, because if you've got debris piled under your jig or under your Kreg jig, between the jig, you're going to get some discrepancies and your shelves might not sit perfectly level. Okay, now that I've drilled my holes on the front side, it's a simple matter of set my jig in, set the Kreg jig in, clamp it down. Now I'm good to go. I just repeat the process all the way around and I've got my adjustable shelf pin holes. I can finish out the cabinet. We have been able to build all the cabinets for this kitchen. They're turning out perfect, and greatly in part thanks to Kreg. It has made this job so much easier. Everything's repeatable, super simple to use, and very affordable. So you can't go wrong. Definitely a good thing to check into. Definitely worth investing in. And do not hesitate to invest in some Automax clamps. These things are a lifesaver. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a good one.